Love in the Time of Cholera was written by Gabriel García Márquez, the famous Colombian author who is also known for his masterpiece 100 Years of Solitude. Márquez is one of the most celebrated writers of the 20th century, famous for his ability to create rich and emotional stories. In this novel, he focuses on a realistic portrayal of love, exploring how it changes over time. The story is set in a Caribbean town during the late 19th and early 20th centuries and captures the beauty and struggles of love across a lifetime. It is a story about love's endurance, transformation, and the many forms it can take. The novel begins with the unexpected death of Dr. Juvenal Urbino, a wealthy and respected doctor. He has been married to Fermina Daza for over 50 years. Dr. Urbino's death is unusual. He falls from a ladder while trying to catch his escaped pet parrot. This tragic accident marks the end of a long marriage and the beginning of a new chapter for Fermina. At his funeral, Florentino Ariza, an old acquaintance of Fermina, approaches her. In a shocking confession, he tells Fermina that he has loved her faithfully for over 50 years. This moment sets the stage for a journey into the past and the future, revealing a love that has endured through heartbreak, separation, and the challenges of life. The story then goes back in time to Florentino and Fermina's youth. Florentino first saw Fermina when she was still a teenager, and he immediately fell in love. He was a shy and romantic young man who worked as a telegraph clerk. Fermina was beautiful, but she was also reserved and cautious. Florentino began to send her letters and poems expressing his deep feelings. To his delight, Fermina responded, and the two began exchanging secret letters. They developed a romantic connection, and Florentino believed they were meant to be together. However, Fermina's father, Lorenzo Daza, had other plans. He wanted Fermina to marry someone wealthy and socially prominent. When he discovered their secret relationship, he was furious. Lorenzo forbade Fermina from seeing Florentino and sent her away to live with relatives in another town. While Florentino continued to write to her, Fermina began to feel uncertain about her feelings. After some time apart, Fermina realized that her love for Florentino was more of a youthful fantasy than a true bond. When she returned home, she ended their relationship, leaving Florentino heartbroken. Not long after, Fermina met Dr. Juvenal Urbino, a wealthy and confident man from a prominent family. He was handsome, educated, and determined to win Fermina's heart. He courted her with persistence and charm, bringing her gifts and letters of his own. At first, Fermina was not interested, but over time she began to see Dr. Urbino as a practical and stable choice for a husband. Encouraged by her father, she accepted his proposal. While her marriage to Dr. Urbino was not born out of passion, Fermina believed it was the right decision for her future. Florentino was devastated by Fermina's decision, but made a vow to himself. He would wait for her, no matter how long it took. He threw himself into his work, eventually rising to the position of president of a successful riverboat company. Over the years, Florentino had many relationships with other women, but none of them filled the void left by Fermina. In his heart, Fermina was his one true love. He kept her letters and memories close, believing that one day they would be reunited. Meanwhile, Fermina and Dr. Urbino built a life together. Their marriage lasted for over 5 decades, but it was far from perfect. They often argued and clashed due to their different personalities. Dr. Urbino was a man of science and order, while Fermina was headstrong and independent. At one point, Dr. Urbino had an affair, which caused great pain in their marriage. Despite these challenges, they stayed together and grew closer over time. Their love became one of companionship, routine, and mutual respect, built on the shared experiences of a lifetime. When Dr. Urbino died, Florentino saw his chance to win Fermina's heart once again. At the funeral, he boldly approached her and declared his undying love. Fermina was shocked and angry. She thought Florentino's confession was inappropriate and saw him as the same foolish dreamer she had rejected years ago. However, Florentino was determined not to give up. He began writing her letters again, just as he had when they were young. At first, Fermina ignored the letters, but over time, she began to read them. Florentino's words were heartfelt and sincere, and they reminded Fermina of her youth. Slowly, she started to see him in a new way. She realized that he had matured over the years and had become a thoughtful and patient man. As her feelings softened, she opened her heart to him, and they began to build a new relationship. Florentino and Fermina started spending time together, getting to know each other as older adults. They shared stories about their lives, talked about their struggles, and found comfort in each other's company. For Fermina, Florentino became a source of understanding and companionship. For Florentino, Fermina's acceptance of his love was the fulfillment of a dream he had carried for over 50 years. Their love, however, was different now. It was no longer the passionate and impulsive love of youth. Instead, it was a deep and steady bond, rooted in mutual respect and shared experiences. Florentino and Fermina decided to spend their remaining years together, embracing the time they had left. The story ends with Fermina and Florentino boarding a riverboat and setting off on a journey together. As the boat sails along the river, they find peace and freedom in each other's company. The riverboat becomes a symbol of their love, a place where they can leave behind the judgments and expectations of society and focus on their happiness. Their love, tested by time and life's hardships, becomes a testament to the power of human connection and the enduring nature of the heart. This novel is significant because it explores love in all its forms. It captures the passion and excitement of young love, as seen in Florentino and Fermina's early romance. It also portrays the steady and enduring love that develops over time, as shown in Fermina's long marriage to Dr. Urbino. Finally, it demonstrates how love can be rediscovered later in life, proving that it is never too late to find connection and happiness. Gabriel García Márquez uses this story to remind us that love is not always perfect or easy. It can be messy, painful, and full of challenges. Yet love is also powerful, transformative, and worth fighting for. It changes and grows over time, taking on different forms as people age and evolve. Love in the Time of Cholera is a beautiful and moving tale about the strength of the human heart. It shows us that love can last a lifetime, or even longer, and that it is never too late to cherish it. The novel leaves readers with a deep appreciation for the complexities of love and its ability to bring meaning to our lives, no matter how much time has passed.